Well, our guest today on Absolutely Famous is a young man, young rising star of Western Australian cricket, Tyne Dodds. He's a 16-year-old. He's already in his third season of senior club cricket for the Leishenold Club, and last week played in the Bunbury representative team, which won the Senior Country Week trophy at the famous Wacker Ground in Perth. Tyne is also my grandson, and of course our family are very proud of you. Tyne, how are you, mate? Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, Grandad. Thanks for having me on as well. It's been quite a massive 2 weeks, actually.
Well, it was, yeah. You played the first week of the junior carnival, you captained your junior team, and then straight into the senior week in the second week in pretty hot conditions.
Yeah, it was pretty draining couple of weeks, but sort of all worth it in the end, really. Obviously, getting the win, so...
Yeah, that's marvellous. Just touching on the first week first, you scored a big 100 there and a 97, and your sister Ava played in your team, 15-year-old. That must be pretty unusual.
Yeah, at first it was, but I mean, me and Ava have been playing together for ages now. Like, won a Rocky flag together, won one for the Wellington 14s. As well, so it's nothing really unusual, but it was a good week.
Yeah, how did Ava's not daunted at all by the opposition? It sounds as though from Dad she did really well.
Yeah, no, she's not at all. She takes it on, which is awesome. She's probably one of our best bowlers for the week, but really unlucky. Like, heaps of drop catches and stuff. So
yeah.
Took a couple of really good catches as well. So yeah, she's definitely not afraid of it.
Oh, it's good stuff. And of course, onto the senior week. This is probably, as your dad was saying, the equivalent of a Marlborough team winning the Hawke Cup, which is a coveted trophy under first class level. So it's all a scene. Just explain about Country Week, how it works. We're talking about the Senior Country Week.
So there's 5 sections, so obviously A, B, C, D and E. And it's like a promotion and relegation sort of thing. So if you finish last, you get relegated back down, and then if you finish, obviously win the section, you get promoted up to the next one. So this year we had 2 Bunbury teams in the A section. I don't think it's happened for a very long time, which is very impressive. So we had an A and a B side in there. So I was fortunate enough to be in the A side, but I think which we won, which was massive. Like, we went back to back, and then our B side, after winning last year, unfortunately they got relegated back down to the B. So yeah.
Yeah, you probably expect that with the B team, but all of a sudden, great to have 2 teams in there. And so your team, there's quite a few teenagers in. I mean, you're 16. There was, 4 or 5 under 18?
Yeah, so we had myself, Nico LaRue, who's pretty much the same age as me. Who I played Leishenold with him. Then we had Jonah Lincoln, who's a year older. Kobe Deering, who's about to turn 18, and then we had 18-year-old Pom from Durham, I think it is. Robbie Dawson, he's playing for Donnybrook at the moment. So yeah, it's awesome to have him over.
Yeah, and you play every day, do you? What's the format? 50 over games every day?
So 60 over games. There's a drinks break every hour and lunch after 2 hours. So no, it's like a mix of formats. So it's like a mix of 1-day cricket and 2-day cricket. It's really weird, but so you have 2 days. So you play the first 2 days round robin. There's 60 over games, and then you have a rest day on, I think it's Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday you have 1 round robin game on the Wednesday, and then a semi-final and a grand final, which is on the Wacker.
So you played Albany, your old hometown. There's a fair bit of grudge there between Bunbury and Albany in the final, and what a fantastic venue, the Wacker. favourite cricket ground where so many famous contests at Test level took place.
Yeah, no, it's really awesome. I've had the privilege to play there a few times now, actually. It's the first time I've ever won there, which winning there's a lot better than losing there. But yeah, no, it's always a really good experience. Like you get the change rooms with all like the honours board and stuff, who's scored hundreds, who's taken fifers, and all that, and then you get to sit in the viewing area, which is almost even better. Yeah.
Yeah, so what was the? I've always, looked at the whacker and see what beautiful, fast, bouncy wicket, perfect for batsmen and also pretty good for fast bowlers. How did you find it? You scored 30 odd in the final. How did you find the conditions?
Oh, well, it always takes a bit to get used to. Like first 20 or 30 balls, it's always not hard to score, but just getting used to that extra pace and bounce. But I think after that, once you got the hang of that, it's easy to score runs. So just comes under the bat nicely, true bounce, sort of exactly what you want as a batsman, really.
Yeah, and also provides a bit for the bowler. So I guess you've got to take, as you say, it takes a few balls to adjust to a different length.
Yeah. There's always a bit there with the new ball, especially in a final. Those first sort of 15, 20 overs, you're just trying to not lose wickets, really. Obviously trying to score runs, but you can always cash in sort of at the back end, especially with runs on the board in a final. It's always put a bit of pressure on. So
yeah. So how did the final pan out? Did you guys bat first?
Yeah. So we batted first. And so I came at 3, like fourth ball, I think. Our wicket keeper, Bradman May, had quite an unlucky week. He got strangled down the leg side for like the third time in the week. And I walked out, and it was sort of, like there's always a bit there with the new ball, but if anything, it was just getting used to that pace and bounce, and after that, it wasn't easy, but it certainly gets a lot easier to bat on. And then I got out sweeping to a spinner. Then Cooper Deering came out, I think at number 6 or something, and he got a run of ball 50 or 60 and got us to 220 or 240 or something. And then, it was really weird when we went out to bowl. It happened really quickly. But, it's a really weird feeling. I think we took 4 wickets for 4 drinks, and it was pretty much all over by then.
So what did you bowl Albany out for roughly?
I don't know, probably 90 or something.
Yeah.
But it was a really weird feeling.
So there's good celebrations after that, I bet, in the dressing room and afterwards.
Yeah, it was. It's obviously not. It's sort of what you want in a final, so you're knowing you're going to win. But obviously, everyone's up and about that you've won, but it's not. You don't have that same sort of buzz around it because you sort of know 20 overs in the field that they're probably not going to chase 240. But it was good fun.
Yeah. So who were a couple of the stars of the show for you during the week?
Well, Liam Renton on the first day, he took 7 for. In one spell of bowling, he bowled 15 overs straight, I think.
Is he a pace bowler?
Yeah, opened the bowling for us. He was our quickest. And then we had Zane Burhaff as well, our other opening bowler, took 5 for 9 of 11 overs in the final. But yeah, Rents all week was awesome. Came back second spells and took a couple of wickets and sort of when we looked in a bit of trouble. And then Robbie Dawson on the third day against Upper Great Southern, who's that Englishman that I was talking about. He scored 100 against Upper Great Southern. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I guess how did you find that? Did you face some pretty quick stuff there during the week?
There was a couple of bowlers that were quite sharp, but obviously nothing really scary. But I think Rory Calhoun from Bustleton, he's a year older than me. He's probably the quickest I've faced there. it was quite sharp. But yeah,
So from that tournament down the track, quite a few Western Australian state players emerged from that. I guess the scouts would be down there having a look at the talent.
yeah, I think so. I think what makes us winning it more impressive is we actually had 5 players away, like 5 of our best players away, playing for the country 11 at the same time. That could have been playing for us. So we effectively had 5 players that would have played Bs for us this year playing in our As, and that sort of just shows the depth we've got as an association.
Yeah, that's terrific. And for now, your Leschenault senior team, which this is your 3rd season, is it, if I'm correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're runaway leaders in the senior competition at the moment, and you've got some pretty special players in there as well.
Yeah, obviously, we got Steve Denison, scored 160 off about 70 balls earlier in the year.
Now tell us about that innings. You and Steve put on over 200, and he hit 18 sixes in one innings.
Yeah, it was insane. It was probably one of the best things I've ever been at the other end for.
What were you thinking? You think, what is going on here?
Yeah, I knew he was capable of doing it. Like he'd put together a couple of 80s or something really quickly, and then just got himself out really stupidly. And yeah, I don't know, it just all clicked for him that day, and yeah, hit a couple of massive sixes as well. A few.
Yeah, well, I think you got about 60 odd that day, so that was a great effort. And your club in general, your senior team, I've been lucky enough to watch them play early in the season. They look a really well balanced team with a couple of good Pommy imports in there. You could just tell us about a few of your key players.
Yeah, so obviously we've got two guys, Ollie Currell and Jamie Harrison, that play in the Birmingham League. They've been massive ins for us this year. Like, I think both of them have said they haven't really performed how they've expected to this year, but the way that they've sort of changed the way people go about it, like around the club and stuff, and sort of the environment that everyone trains in, it's been really good. And then obviously we've got Tom Buchanan as captain, who most people know, just an absolute gun. Captains really well, and then he's country 11, and then won it for Bunbury last year, senior country week as well. So plenty of talent.
And your left arm spinner goes well too.
Oh yeah, Shazad Gondal, the Prince, as most people call him.
The Prince, I love it.
Yeah. Also another one that came up to country this year and won it. Bowled really well.
Yeah.
Amazing. I reckon he would take 18 wickets this year for Leschenault. He's never really disappoints. Yeah,
no, he looked pretty good to me. And of course, your good mate Nico LaRue, the keeper, he's a very sharp keeper and a heck of a batsman too when he's going.
Yeah, Nico probably, I'd say pretty unlucky to miss out on state 17 selection this year. I think he was looking like going, and then he got told he was the first emergency player and couldn't go out on tour. So yeah, it's no good for him. But
that's worse than not being selected.
Yeah, that sort of how cricket works, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So you're a couple of, what's the format? You're a couple of wins, I think, ahead, the top of the ladder. Do you play a grand final?
Well, so we've got, I think, 4 games left, and we're 2 games clear. I don't think we can miss finals, but I think it'd be pretty disappointing if we don't finish top and get a home semi. So it's got 2 semi-finals, a prelim and a final. So semis are 1 versus 2, and then 3 versus 4. And it's the winner versus 3 versus 4 versus the loser of 1v2. And then the winner of 1 versus 2 goes straight through to the final. And then obviously the winner of that prelim plays in the final. and that's a 2-day game. So it's not like it's like pretty much 250 over games 2 days in a row. So it's not like a proper 2-day fixture, but yeah.
So if you win on the first innings, you can win the trophy.
I think it's just purely runs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So about twice for 50 overs. And then it's just whoever's got the most runs out of adding them up.
I guess the challenge is for the boys to just stay focused, and if you win the round robin, and then try and carry that through to the final with the extra pressure that goes with that.
Yeah, I think it's about sort of not being complacent, really. Like we can easily go, we easily make finals, and then sort of lose a bit of momentum by losing a couple of games because we don't really have the easiest run home, but we've got games that we should win. But yeah, it's very easy to lose a couple and then lose a bit of our momentum that we've built all year. So I think it's really important that we don't do that, and everyone keeps training really hard and keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, you got plenty of wise heads in the team, and wonderful to see the women's section of the club going so well. You got 2 women's teams now, and your mum Rochelle, of course, making her debut this season, got a first wicket last Saturday. It's just the club looks in really in good heart for what I've seen.
Yeah, it's awesome actually. Mum was pretty up and about yesterday after she got home for her first wicket, but they lost quite a tight one yesterday, so she wasn't that happy. But I think A was keen to get back playing again. I don't know, she sort of stopped playing a little bit. She played most of last year, but trying to get her to play again. So
yeah, real family involvement. Of course, Dad Matthew Dodsey to most of us, former Marlborough representative and Central District's age group rep. I was talking to him the other day. He's really enjoying watching you kids flourish. It's he's a good wise head too to cricket. Get some cricket knowledge off. He's got a vast knowledge.
He loves it. He's really nervous when I bat until I get off the mark. I think after that he doesn't really care. But no, he's always awesome. He comes, watches every single game, supports, helps me with my batting, helps me with my bowling when I ask because I don't really like it, but he's always there to help. So he's really awesome.
Oh, good stuff. Well, thanks for the chat, mate. It's always good to catch up, and like I say, we're really proud of you and your Bunbury team and the way the Leishnault senior team and the club in general is going. So keep it up. All the best for the grand final and making the final, and we'll hopefully chat at the end of the season and talk about another victory.
Yeah, we're hoping so. All goes well, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Thanks
mate.
for that.
Thanks, Ty.